unlike with the web API, in order to keep our latency very low for the WebSocket, the return data is more or less a little more concise to the point. With the WebSocket return data, you'll receive the option contract ID, the last trade price, the last trade size, the timestamp of that trade, and the type, whether it is a put or call. This allows us to perform very low latency over systems and power algorithms using this data as market makers. Now, my colleague Evan will walk you through the WebSocket endpoint and give you a feel for how that operates.
Thanks, Alec. If you could just play the video.
Alrighty.
And is there any way to get volume on this bad boy?
There is not.
Oh,
it's
okay.
your volume. Fire away.
It's my volume. Okay, so what I was saying in the video is that this is a way of, okay, go ahead and pause it real quick. The WebSocket is more of a server workload. It's a feed as opposed to a request response platform. So demoing it, this is all done in Visual Studio. If you sign up for our WebSocket product, we're going to be providing you with an SDK. Included in this SDK is a sample application. Sample application is pretty easy to use. My cursor in the video is roughly hovering over the main method there. Below that, on line 57, you'll see that I'm creating a new client object. All you have to do to use this, to use the WebSocket feed, is create a new client object and then specify the, or call the join function. What that'll do is it'll subscribe on the server and begin passing back data. With this particular, we have basically two different endpoints with the WebSocket. The first endpoint will provide updates on specific contract IDs or full option chains. And for those of you who don't know, an option chain is every single option contract outstanding for a given underlying symbol. So the first piece that we're going to look at is querying for specific contract IDs. Alec, go ahead and play the video. Thank you. So, excuse me. Yeah, the first piece we're going to look at, okay, here I am pointing out that all you have to do is call the join method. And then we're going to be using the contract IDs. Those are in the right-hand pane up here. In this case, we're going to be subscribing to to an Apple contract, an Amazon contract, as well as a Tesla contract. When we hit run with the application, we're going to connect to the WebSocket feed. We're going to subscribe to the channels that we specified, and then we're going to begin pulling data back. In this sample application, all we're doing is counting the symbols or identifying which symbol has the most activity, the greatest amount of activity. It's a pretty basic terminal application, but it'll give you a feel for how to use it and how you can hook it up to your own product and do whatever it is that you might need to do. The other piece that we're going to look at is working with a full option chain. In this case, the option chain for GE. GE, I believe, has something like 700, I think today, actually, if I look, yeah, it looks like about 716 option contracts for it. So in this case, we're going to be listening for updates on all 716 option contracts for GE. It's the same thing. You just hit run and it'll begin counting in the sample application. It'll begin counting all of the trades as well as the asks and bids for your option chain here. These are the two main endpoints that we have for the WebSocket feed. We also, however, have, and I haven't shown this in the video, we have what we're calling a firehose feed. The firehose feed provides data for every single option contract available. And right now, at any given moment, there's roughly 1.5 million different option contracts. The Firehose feed will provide information on all of those. Right now, the Firehose feed provides just trade data, whereas this other Oprah endpoint provides trade data as well as ask and bid data.